Hey everybody, how you doing? Today we're looking at a Mesa Boogie California Tweed 112 combo. It is selectable between 2, 10, 20, 30, and 40 watts. And there are different configurations of pentode and triode. Some tubes are on, some tubes are off. It's got 4 6v6s in the power section. This information is available all over the place. I just thought I would just sort of give my take on it. This particular one, this is pretty much brand new. I've only fired this up a handful of times. Hang tags are still on it. The box is still hanging around. I'm not entirely sure I'm going to hang on to this one. But we'll go through it and we'll see what we think. Right now, I have it on the 10 watt setting. I think I'm going to leave it that way. My phone with which I'm recording this is very close to the amp. Anything more than that's really just going to overload the hell out of the microphone. So anyway, without further ado, I've got the gain at about 9 o'clock. I'm just going to go through some of the controls and you can hear how they respond. All right, playing a Stratocaster, front pickup right now. All right, so let's run the treble all the way down, hear what we sound like. So you can get a feel for the frequencies the treble knob is controlling. It sounds to me like it's taking some liberties with the upper mid-range as well. And when you really crank it up, it just sort of takes over the amplifier. To me, I think it sounds best maybe a little south of noon. All right, mid-range, let's do the same thing. We're going to start down at nothing. And hey, we almost get nothing for signal. Kind of subtle. Usually with Fender amps, I usually have the mid-range cranked anyway. We'll see. All right, so the bass, the same thing. Bass off. There's a lot of low in there. This is on the 10 watt setting, like I said. Still a lot of bass. Presence. Let's choose a different chord. You're probably sick of hearing G. How about B suspended? It's kind of subtle. Maybe it's the gain level we're at or whatever. All right, on to the reverb. The reverb on this amp sounds fantastic. We'll start with just a little bit. Let's go to noon. What's, whatever, why not? All right, 3/4 of the way up. Add some other stuff in here to make it a little more kind of vibey, some delays. Maybe a little compression. Very nice sounding reverb. One of the better spring reverbs I've ever heard. Let's crank it all the way up just for the hell of it. So it doesn't really like take over your sound, and it's EQ'd in a way that it's kind of dark. I think it's really cool. I'm gonna turn it back down. We'll leave it about, let's see what this sound like. I think that's pretty reasonable. Reverb on a Tweed style amp. Say what you will about it. I'm glad they included it. It is foot switchable. They did not include a foot switch. Mesa Boogie. Why? Why you no foot switch on $2,000 amplifier? Why? Alright, so let's look at the gain range. It's at about 9 o'clock. Let's put it at nooner. Let's hear what she sounds like. Might have to adjust the master a little bit. It's starting to get a little hairy. Give a little more presence, a little more shimmer. Not bad. All right, so I'm going to turn the master down a little bit. We're going to put the gain at 3/4. It's kind of doing that fall aparty old Tweed amp thing, which is cool. I'm going to turn the bass down a little bit so maybe we can mitigate some of that though. It sounds pretty killer. Whatever. Some dad blues. Alright, so let's just crank the gain. Let's hear what it sounds like full out. This is not intended to be a really high gain amplifier, but whatever. It sounds good. It sounds good. I'm going to put it on the 2-watt setting, 2 watts, and we're going to turn the master all the way up. We'll see if we can get it to really fall apart shitty on us. It really sounds like a cool old shitbox amplifier when it's set like this. And you know, this thing on the 40-watt setting is very hi-fi and pure and beautiful and shimmery sounding, but on this setting with everything turned all the way up, at least with the gain and the master, it really it's crapping out on me. This with a tube screamer. So it can get a little rowdy. I've got a JHS 3 Series fuzz here. Let's see what that sounds like. I'm gonna kill the reverb. Fuzz and reverb, it doesn't always fit. So let's go look at the other end of things here. We're going to turn this back down. Well, we're going to turn the gain down. We'll probably turn the master back up. I'm going to go to the 40 watt setting. I'm going to get the nicest, shimmery, most pristine, ambient sort of sound out of this thing I can muster. That's very nice. Man, that is a beautiful sound. Let's get a little more Fendery here. A little more bass, a little less mid. Alright, we're gonna turn on a bunch of crap. Compressor. Another reverb. A delay and another delay. Just, you know, let's go crazy. Let's go nuts. I think that's probably enough. The speaker in here is a 100 watt Jensen Blackbird Alnico. It is freaking gorgeous. Every detail of this thing is absolutely stunning. And you know, we were able to get some really just a pretty broad range of sounds out of this thing without too much effort. So, you know, we went from just totally over the top, amp is gonna die kinds of sounds with really, I put a tube screamer in front of it. You know, like who doesn't have a tube screamer laying around? And if you don't, and you spent $2,000 on an amplifier, go buy a dang tube screamer. Or at least the cheap Behringer knockoff or whatever, so you have the circuit laying around. Otherwise, a JHS 3 fuzz, which really, you know, is not a super pricey pedal. I paid $89 for mine on Black Friday, Cyber Monday, Cyber Black Hell Day, whatever. But you can get, I mean, it's kind of a sort of a fuzz face kind of circuit. You can get cheap fuzz face clones you can probably go buy one used on Reverb for $20 plus $89.99 shipping. But it really didn't take a whole lot to get this brand new, shiny, modern amp to sound like those old, crappy amps that just have a cool vibe and a cool sound to them. That, you know, this is sound people are after. It's a sound people like. I guess while I've got the camera here, I can kind of show you around this thing. So here's just sort of up close and personal with the faceplate. You've probably all seen this before. The grill cloth is immaculate. Every little detail, look at that. Oh my gosh, perfect. They did a hell of a job. Let's see the back of the thing. We might have to go upside down. I'm not going to do that to you. We can't really get too much. I'm kind of close to a wall here. You can see the back panel's pretty minimal, which is great. Single channel amp. Super cool, man. I don't know what to say. It's got a high and a low input. I didn't use the low input because I was playing a Stratocaster, and I don't ever use low inputs on anything anyway because I have a volume knob and I just turn the volume down. We've got power, we've got standby. The multi-watt thing is cool. It works, as we've seen. 40 watts. I wouldn't say it's insanely loud. It is certainly not as loud as this thing, especially if I'm using the full power mode. I generally keep this in the mode where it's two 6L6s in triode mode. It is way louder than this amp. But you know, a lot of people are looking for amps that aren't super duper loud, and it has a lot of options for reducing the volume further, which is cool. The speaker cabinet, conch, yeah, it's metal looking, but it's got a couple of creamback 75s in it. They are certainly of the caliber of the amplifier. The speakers that came in that cabinet were Eminence, Patriots, or something like that. They're great speakers, but man, you had to be really loud to get them to sound good. Otherwise, they were just really stiff and kind of congested sounding. Anyway, Mesa Boogie California Tweed combo. If I'm looking for an edge of breakup single channel amp with reverb that I'm going to use with dirt boxes to push it over the edge, 10 out of 10. Mesa's hit it out of the park with this thing. If I want a bunch of saturation and I want a bunch of like heavy palm muted stuff, I'm giving it like a 2. It just does not do that thing. Maybe if I put something else in front of it. What do I have here? This bad boy is generally pretty good for getting a moderately gained up amp to sound really heavy. Caline, C-A-L-I-N-E, they make a really cheap clone of this that is surprisingly accurate. I don't know. As much as I'm talking about these clones, I really suggest supporting the companies that really design and make this stuff. If Exotic stole this from somebody else, I don't know about it. It's BB. Is it Blues Breaker or is it Tube Screamer derived? I don't know. So I think that's pretty much all I've got to say about this amp. If you made it this far, thank you. Hit the like button, subscribe if you want to see more like this. I do a lot of lesson videos and sort of gear review things and stuff like that. Trying to really just build a larger subscriber base, more so to help people become better guitar players and to help myself become a better guitar player too, you know. And a lot of times a cat that's a better picker than me will pick up on something and go, hey man, you know, you got the, you know, give me some pointers, and I'm totally cool with that. You know, we need to be perpetual students, I feel like, in this. So anyway, thanks again for watching. Cheers. Good job, Mesa Boogie. No foot switch. Bad job, Mesa Boogie. You should include that for $2,000. Maybe I'm not going to say anything about Gibson buying Mesa Boogie. Cheers. Have a good day.